Alright, everybody, here we go. Let's see if I still got it. I'm going to start with just this piece of vine charcoal. And this is just really soft charcoal. And what I'm thinking about doing here is just using this to kind of sketch the overall layout of where I want the picture to fall. So this is just very kind of fast and loose, and I like doing it like this because it gives me an idea of like where everything's gonna fall, like the overall size of everything. You can see I'm kind of just like looking at the outer shape, and what I'm doing is I'm determining like how high do I want the head. Like I think I want the top to be right about here, but if I want to raise it, I can just go up a little higher like this. And if I want to erase it, I can just use my finger and just kind of slowly smudge it in. So I'm trying to establish where I want the top to be. Where do I want it to come out to the edge here? So if I'm going to say that's about the hair, then maybe this right here is kind of where the forehead is. And you know, maybe the eyes around here. Maybe. There's no measurements when I'm doing any of this. This is just me kind of guessing. You know, if this is going to be if the cheek's going to be about here, you know, and then maybe the chin, maybe it comes down like this. And I don't know if it's too long or not, but what I'm asking myself here is just kind of like, where do I want the tops and the bottoms to be? So I think I want the chin to be about here. And we could still see that. This is just me kind of guessing here. You know, if the top of the hair comes up here, kind of goes over this way. I don't know how far out yet it's going to come over here. So I'm just kind of using my eyes to just kind of tell me if something looks right or looks wrong. So maybe I'll leave it like that. Okay, this isn't science, right? This is art, so we just kind of guess. So I'm just guessing, you know, maybe the hairline. Let's just say the hairline's about in here. Right? This will all be hair up here, and it kind of comes up a little bit because his head's kind of tilted. Alright, I don't know if this is right, but that's sort of the whole point of this kind of, the way this I draw and the way I kind of teach it here on this channel, is just don't be so focused on, you know, all the little things, like, oh man, I messed this up, let me erase, let me go over here, and just put some lines down, and then we'll slowly adjust from there. You know, here, like some of the things I'm looking at, it's like, okay, if this is what I'm saying the height of the hair is right here, let me compare this length. Let me compare this length right here to the length of the forehead. Well, you could see in the picture the forehead is longer than this, right? So if I'm saying this is the length of the hair, the forehead's at least double that length, if not more. And if I need to raise the forehead up, I can just go, okay, I want the forehead to be a little bit bigger, and then adjust everything accordingly. Okay, so see, this is just fast and loose, and what I'm looking at here is just does this look like the overall shape? Okay. And I think it's close enough, right? It's close enough. All the adjustments and stuff we'll do later. So, I'm wondering if I'm going to say this is the hairline up in this area here, then I want to establish where the eyebrows are going to be, and then the nose, and then the chin, and then we'll adjust from there. So, since I was kind of guessing just overall, like this, is this about the size of his forehead? And if this is his forehead, and then the eye comes in, then it looks like the eyebrow is right up in this area, right? Because if it's coming down right here, the eyebrow is kind of up in this area. Okay? How far does the eyebrow come out? You know, just kind of draw, you know, use your pencil or something and just kind of look at this space right here and compare this space to the rest of the forehead. It looks like if I'm looking at his face, the other eyebrow, I don't know, is maybe going to fall like right in the middle. Like if you were to draw a line from his chin straight up, it kind of looks like the other eyebrow is on that line. You see that? So again, I don't know if that's the case, but that's kind of what my eye's telling me. So I'm just kind of going by what my intuition says. And it looks like the angle, you know, his head's at a slight angle, maybe like this. Okay, so we can even draw like a little light line like this just to indicate that his head's at that angle, right? That's about right. And it looks like this eyebrow starts a little bit higher than this eyebrow. So I'm just going to kind of sketch this in here. It's basically just a placeholder, right? And then I'm also looking at, okay, well, if the eyebrow comes out to about here, you know, then how much further is this? You know, this might need to go, you know, further back. We might need to make this face a little bit bigger. So, if I'm saying that's the eyebrows, let me just take a little measurement here. Alright, it's probably about, so the nose is probably about from here. I don't know, let's just guess the nose is on this line somewhere. I don't know. But I want to do kind of keep it at this same angle here. So I'm just going to say this is maybe the bottom of the nose. And his nose to the chin. I'm just taking a little visual measurement. Well, I'm going to say that's probably, I don't know, that might be fine. Let's just leave it like this for now. So you can see we're already kind of getting like a basic shape. You know, I'm not worrying about features at this point. Of course, this angle right here is very sharp. But again, I'm just mainly trying to think about the layout here. I'm not going to worry too much about adding tone and stuff in, but sometimes it kind of helps just to give your brain something to look at. Well, this is all kind of rough draft stage. Again, I'm kind of looking at the darkness of his hair. It's darker in the back here. And then it's going to be lighter up in this area. Okay. So we'll kind of leave it like that for right now. This is his eyebrows up in here. Then I just want to kind of look at the overall shape at this point and see the eyebrow kind of like comes in and it kind of connects to the nose. And see the nose comes down. And so I'm kind of looking at this shape in here. I'm looking at the picture and I'm just looking at that shape. This is the eye sockets in here. And it looks like the light is coming in from this side, so we know that this side is going to be all sort of in shadow. So I'm not really scared about doing this. I'm just kind of adding the shadow. It's just kind of letting my brain see like where the light is. Like you could see up in this part of his forehead, that's where the light is shining, you know. So maybe I'll try and leave this light right here just for now. And I know all this over here is darker. This eye socket is darker. Right. And then, but it's not as dark as the cheek. And then as this comes down, you know, you might compare that angle, look at this angle here, and then hold it up to the picture and see if it looks about the same. I think it's okay. I want to see where the nose, how close does the nose come to this cheek, you know. This space right here, I think I might have it a little too far away. So I might say that the nose comes a little closer. And I said this was going to be about the bottom of the nose, so I got to keep that in mind. Notice how soft this is too. You can just use your finger and just rub it in. Okay, focus. Focus. All right, so I'm just going to kind of just do all this. This is all in shadow. Let's see. His mouth is going to be somewhere. I'm looking at where the nose is. Probably right in here, maybe. I want to be mindful of how much I'm leaving for the his upper lip area. So let me just kind of just sketch a shape. In fact, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just also do the eyes over here. So we said if this is the brow line right here, this is right, this is the brow line. This is a little bit higher. His eye socket is going to be in this area here. Notice I'm just kind of drawing like just a dark shade here, just for me, just for my own mind to represent the eye socket. Now I can already tell I'm making a mistake because the eyebrow is going to come out further than the eye, which means the eye is going to be somewhere in sort of like this area over here. So I might want to just keep that in mind, that if this is the eye over here, does that look okay if I put the eye here? If I put an eye here and an eye here, is that too separated or not? I don't know. We'll see. I'm hearing like some weird noise in my wall. I hope I've got a rat in my wall. Last time I tried to draw, I heard like this scratching noise in my wall, and it turned out to be a friggin' rat that was under my house that somehow got into my house. Oh yeah, I'm hearing something. This is going to be a distraction for sure. All right. So his nose, let's see his eyebrow. Bring his eyebrow over here more. Looking at the eyebrow, the nose comes past the eyebrow. At this point, it looks like the nose is going to be really big, but that's also because there's no shading. So I'm just going to kind of imagine, you know, if the ball of the nose is right in here, nostrils up in here. All right. It's looking real funny at this stage. This is the stage where usually a lot of people give up, myself included, especially since I haven't drawn anything in a very long time. The doubt factor is very high right now. You start doubting yourself. I'm just using my finger and just kind of smudging everything in, sort of knock everything back. Sometimes this helps because it helps to start seeing the shapes. Things don't look so distracting. But see how I went darker by the eyes, and now the eye socket area is a little more pronounced. It's allowing my brain to focus a little bit, see kind of where I want everything to be. The mouth, just guessing. Sort of just in this area here. Okay. Shave in the chin area a little bit, because I noticed I don't want too much space between the lip, between his mouth and then his side of his face. In fact, I'll just kind of shade this all in a little bit. Just give me a placeholder. notice I haven't even started drawing with the pencil yet. This is all still just this soft charcoal. I'm using it to just give my eyes sort of just something to focus on. Like if this is where the eye is going to be, you know, just kind of put in little marks with it and I can easily erase it. So far, obviously, the nose is kind of funny because it doesn't have any structure to it at this point. It looks like it just is this big, this big blob. But what I'm doing is I'm slowly narrowing down where I think everything is. And then what we'll do after this is we'll get our pencil out and we'll really start solidifying everything. Again, I haven't drawn anything really for about a year. I was drawing a lot if you followed my channel. And then up until last November, my dad passed away. Ever since my dad died, I've sort of had a reevaluation of my own life and things that I thought were important to me, which maybe weren't that important, and things that I thought were important. Did I just say the same thing twice? Things that I thought weren't important really were, and things that I was thinking were important were not. And unfortunately that kind of included my YouTube channel and things like that. Hold on one second, my cats are crying out there. Alright, I'm back. I got two cats in the house, and one of them's 18 years old and blind and deaf, and then I got another one who's 3 years old, and he just loves torturing this other cat. And so every now and then you're going to hear this other cat screaming at the top of her lungs because stupid Mittens, which is the name of the little guy, Mittens, just loves to torture this other cat. Anyway, I was kind of raising we're going to have to work on his forehead a little bit because I kind of have his forehead kind of low and all the same length, and if you look at the picture, it kind of gets higher. So this is all going to have to change. But, I mean, we can always do it now if we wanted to, just slowly raise it up a little bit. Just to give our brains something to not be distracted by. You know, we can work on this more later. I'm not gonna. Like I said, I'm kind of apologizing because it's been so long. I haven't really been drawing since my dad passed away, and I've kind of neglected my YouTube channel, unfortunately. But my dad always liked when I would draw, and so I'm kind of hoping that this is a therapeutic thing for me, you know, to kind of get my mind back into the swing of things, you know, find my motivation again. It's been a long time since I've had that hunger to draw. So if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, please leave me a comment or hit the like button and let me know. In fact, this is the first video where I'm actually like talking and narrating in real time. I don't know if you guys like that better, you know, the whole real time thing, or if I should do like time lapse like I kind of used to do, you know. Let me know what you guys want to see. Maybe it'll give me motivation to keep drawing. We all need motivation, right? All right, I think that's good for the basic shape. Okay, so what did we establish? We established the basic shape. We established kind of where the eyes are going to be. And I'm just looking back and forth between this and the picture and seeing, does that shape look right? Does the tilt of the head look right? Does it look like the mouth is going to go here? So you notice I didn't draw a mouth, right? I'm just drawing where I think the mouth is going to be, where the bottom of the mouth's going to be, right in here. Compare the bottom of the mouth to the chin. The chin looks like it's, you know, right in the right spot. So everything's looking proportional, right? So now I'm thinking, in fact, if I want, let me look. Maybe I'll just, sometimes I don't always do this, but I'll just draw where I think that like the shoulders are going to be out this way. So draw that. And then, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I got to kind of find where the ear is going to be. Maybe I should do that now. If this is the back of the head, that's going to come down, then the ear is going to be in this area. And it looks like the ear is, again, not really measuring. I'm just kind of looking. Let your eyes do the measurement. It looks like if I'm saying this is where the eyebrow is, it looks like the top of the ear is probably on that same sort of line, right? So if that's the top of the ear and this is where the head comes down, then that means the ear is going to come in this direction, come out like this, come down. You know, if I'm looking at his chin, or the jaw, his jaw kind of goes up, and then as it comes up, this is the edge of the ear, right? Okay. So maybe like that. Just something there. Just something to kind of see like, okay, I can look into this more. And of course, if that's the ear, then down here is kind of like the edge of his neck. Comes out. All right, and then later we'll just probably end up drawing his neck down in this area, his t-shirt and whatnot. All right, gives us a basic idea, right? That's all we want. All right, I think I'm happy with that. That's probably about 30 minutes in. Sorry, this is going to be a longer video because, again, this is the first time I've drawn in so long. I'm like so rusty. So let me just use my finger and kind of blend everything in. And now I'm going to use my number 4 charcoal pencil. And we'll start putting in some more permanent lines here. And this is also where we're going to slowly adjust. So none of this is set in stone right now. This is all subject to change. Like right now I'm thinking maybe I made his face look a little too short and stocky. So I might have to adjust some things, you know, if I want to make them look thinner, I'll have to bring this in a little bit. See how, you know, so we'll have to do some adjusting. But right now I'm just going to, maybe I'll start with the triangle of like the eyes down to the nose and just go from there. I like to kind of establish this little angle here. So here's the edge. I know this is his brow line. See, we've kind of like set up the structure of his face, so I know his brow kind of comes up here. Doesn't come out too far because his eye, I know it's going to fit in this area. This is the eye socket, so looks like his eye is going to be something like this, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust things. Like I can already see I'm off by a little bit here. See, this is all darker in here, so I can actually just kind of shade this a little darker. I'm not going to shade this little area here. You can see right above the eye, it's a little lighter. Man, I'm hearing something crawling in my walls, and I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that sound, guys. I'm kind of looking at this area here of his upper cheek. I can tell that it's not as dark, which makes sense. So I'm just shading sort of around it. So I'm just kind of looking at the tones and shades right now. And sometimes by doing that, it can help me find the other parts of the body, you know. Alright, we'll see if that works. Okay, so underneath the nose, this is going to be a little darker. This goes down, you know, things get lighter as the lips are more in front. This is more in back. Kind of using my finger right now, but I'll use a smudge stick pretty soon, or a blending stump. All right. All right. Oh man, I'm rusty. So I'm not talking that much just because I obviously am kind of focused on not completely screwing up. Alright, maybe I just need to shut up and stop worrying about everything. Alright. Doesn't have to look like him at this point. I'm just concerned about where I'm putting everything here. Looks like his eyebrows kind of start. If I'm saying this is where his nostril is, it's kind of right about here. Kind of goes up in this direction. Again, I'm thinking about the eye, but I'm also knowing like, okay, this is sort of the eye socket. So I'm kind of just keeping the eye socket in mind so I don't make the eye too big. Just see. See how this goes. It's got the upper eyelid, which kind of comes across. All right. So I have that upper part of the eye. I have the eyelid here. Let's see. The iris starts about here. Kind of goes up. Let's see. This. small, but we'll adjust that as we go along here. Looking at the white of the eye, trying my best to maintain that shape in there. We'll worry about the eye in a little bit as far as details are concerned. I'm seeing a little shape under the eye here, just a little fold. I'm not going to make this part too dark. Again, I might lose all this when I start shading, but this is just going to help me try and get some other details. You know, there's this little like shadow here underneath. And I'm also now looking, see this little shadow area, I got to compare that to where the edge of the nose is. And look at this sort of space in here. This is the side plane of the nose. Oh, now my dog's going crazy. Notice I'm not really blending, I'm not really doing a whole heck of a lot here. It's just keeping it rough. Kind of hoping that all these little changes that we're making is just going to slowly narrow things down, tighten things up to the point that we start getting a likeness. Right now I can already tell, like it looks like either I'm coming out too far here or the forehead needs to be adjusted in a little bit. Looks like in the picture that there's not this slant. It almost looks like it kind of just goes straight up a little bit, doesn't it? Until it turns into the head. So, see, from here we'll have to adjust and see, does the forehead have to be a little bit bigger? And I'm not sure. We'll come back to that. Right now I'm just looking like the eyes look like they're probably okay as far as distance apart and angle. The nose comes out this direction. Looks like the nose comes out. I think we might be okay on the nose. Looks a little bit like I made it a little bit big right now, but I'm not that worried yet. Who's calling? Oh, that's my wife. 1 second, please. Alright, sorry about that. I take the phone call from the old wifey poo. So I'm just kind of looking at, I'm actually kind of drawing things I don't sometimes see. Like I just know like this side of the face is going to be darker. So I'm just kind of darkening things up. But see, if I make this dark and leave it like this, that's like way too bright. So I got to make sure we blend everything in. And then later we'll come in with an eraser and stuff. And I got my little blending tools. So if I want to come in here and start smoothing things out, we can do that. So you just kind of blend it all in. I'm being mindful of this space right here. That's really important to capturing a likeness, this little space right here. From the eyebrow to where the top of the eye is. You want to try and stay pretty faithful to that. Of course, this is all super dark right here, but we'll end up adjusting everything. But I think this angle's good here on the face. Looks like the mouth is good to start right in this area. You know, his smile kind of starts right in here. And then I'm kind of looking at where the lips, how the lips go out, and where does it start changing direction in relation to the nose. So if there's the nose, the bottom of the nose here. My brain's telling me maybe about right where the nostril is sort of the center. This is sort of the center. And then it kind of goes up a little bit. And it's over here. Something like that. I don't know. And you can always compare, like, where does the mouth come out to, say, where the eye is? Does it come out to the edge of the eye? No, it's in further. The mouth kind of comes out almost to like this area, right? This part of the eye. So maybe I have to bring it out just a little bit further. And I'm just kind of looking at that angle. You know, it looks like it's a, you know, if I made this go up really high, then it looked like he's smiling really big. He's not smiling super big. So I want to just keep that, little things like that in mind. This part is always darker, corner of the mouth. And then it kind of continues down. I'll do this part a little bit darker just because it's like the edge of the lips are going to be, this is going to be the lips. And I'm visualizing the teeth. So I'm not drawing teeth, I'm just going to kind of draw this dark shadow beneath, knowing that the teeth are going to be in there. And alright, so just a little placeholder where the teeth are going to be. This is sort of represents the lips underneath. And because he's turned at an angle, it doesn't go all the way up over here. It just kind of starts, goes down here. And then below the lips and here it's a little bit darker. And here. And then of course the chin looks like it's right in this area here, so. I'm just kind of putting some shade down here. This is sort of the side of his cheek. That's where his chin or his cheek is. You know, the light's going to be hitting in here, so all I'm doing is I'm just kind of shading around where that light is. I'm looking at the shape of the light. You know, it comes up from his forehead, down his temple, down this way, and kind of up in here. So everything else I can kind of just lightly shade. And then I know this comes up here towards his ear. Obviously it's going to be darker here because where his hair is, this area is going to be darker. Okay. We got about 5 minutes left before I got to take a break for the first hour. Just kind of rubbing in the charcoal here. In fact, this is a little tool I made out of some junk paper. And it's just sort of like a homemade smudge stick. So I'm just gonna kind of smooth everything in here. So obviously we got to work on that. I'm gonna have to add more to the eyebrow and stuff. Again, remember what I was saying about looking at the space between the top of the eyelid and where the eyebrow starts. That's really important for getting the likeness. So I got to make sure I keep this line pretty defined. Got that line right there and his little crease right there. We're gonna have to really darken all this to match everything. Right now his forehead's way too light. And if I want to make this stand out, I do have to add all this. I do got to kind of make this look a lot darker. Alright, so this is all going to be adjusted. Right now it looks really dark, the values aren't matching up. That's okay. This is just kind of how the process goes at this point. We're going to have to work on the mouth when we come back. As well as maybe check the portion. We might have to make the chin go down a little more. I think I made this part looks too small. So we're going to have to work on that. But those should all be pretty easy fixes. Alright, well, let's leave it at that. We'll come back. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I think I want to work on this part of the face. I think I want to work on the eyes and the nose, and then we'll kind of work our way out. Alright, so first I'm going to, gosh darn it, dropping everything. I'm just going to kind of smooth in everything. I think I like where the eyes are for the most part. I think I'm fine with all that. But we really want to start adding now some of the details, or else I'm going to be working on this drawing forever. So. Do the top eye. This comes down, and it comes right to the edge. That's how I see it. It's coming right down to the edge, and this is really dark in here. It's almost hard to see. Right above it, it's hard to tell unless I zoom in. His upper eyelid is just right above it, just ever so close. Okay. And then I'm looking at the shape of his iris. And how it comes up like this. And then over here to the corner of the eye. He's got really dark eyes. He has a highlight in there, so I'm trying to keep the highlight. My eraser will kind of bring out the eye a little bit here. Usually this kind of makes the drawing start to look a little more realistic by doing just a little thing like that. He's got just a little bit showing in here. Good enough. Now below the eye, I could see this is going to be lighter for like the bottom part of his eye is a little lighter. So I'm just going to erase a little bit, not a whole lot. No barking. I'm drawing in here, bubs. No barking. Okay. So I don't want to make it too dark under his eye, right in this area. But he does, it's a little darker right here, so I'm trying to keep everything as I see it. And I'm just trying to look like back and forth between the drawing and the picture. And I'm just trying to focus only on the eye and the eye area, including this eyebrow. That's okay for right now. We're going to have to still go in and adjust our values. Right now it's still really dark. I'm not sure how I'm going to adjust it yet. I want to kind of finish, go into like these other parts of the drawing. So let's move over to the other eye. This comes here, and I need to make the eye come out a little bit more. See, I'm just slowly bringing it in just a little bit more, but I'm not really adjusting this part. I'm just kind of getting like the duct of the eye, the tear duct. I can see this shape right here of his, it's a little darker. So getting that in there kind of gives a little bit more depth to the eye. Kind of translates, lets the viewer see that it kind of sits in a little bit. This is the upper eyelid in here. A little darker. Now, one thing I noticed about this eye, which I'm going to fix, let me do the top eyelid first. But I noticed something I did wrong with the shape of this eye. And that's right here. His eye looks like it's a little too open for me. It looks like it comes down just a little too much. So I'm just going to make a little adjustment. because I want him to look like he's smiling more than, you know, the more squintier your eye is, the more it kind of looks like you're smiling. And if it's too open, you kind of, it just changes your expression. So I'm going to try and just slightly adjust. You may not even be able to tell what I'm doing, but by lifting up this bottom part just a little, it's going to make his eye just squint a little bit more than I had it. And then I can use my blending stump to kind of blend in this eye, the white part of the eye, and then I'll use my eraser to bring it out again. And it kind of gives it more of a realistic look, I think. Alright, so see, I'm kind of just blending the charcoal, reestablishing some of the darker parts of the eye fold here, the upper eyelid, a little darker over here. And again, I want to maintain this area here and the space in between the top of the eye and the eyebrow. You know, this space is very important. Let's see, this kind of trails off a little bit here. I want to just draw one big eyebrow, look like a big hairy slug on someone's face. Notice how it's darker right here, but then it kind of like fades out. So I'm just kind of, I want to try and be mindful of that. See if I can keep that part of the picture like that, where it's kind of fades out a little bit. Alright. Remember, all this is kind of bright on this side of his face. So I'm just going to kind of blend up to this spot. In fact, if I want, I can kind of go over here to represent where the hair is going to be. And hopefully, as we continue on what we're doing here, we'll start to really capture his likeness. I think I lost a little bit where I wanted to go over here with the edge of the eye. All right. Alright, I think we're slowly getting there, guys. I think we're slowly getting there. bit. I haven't really put any shading on his nose. But the nose shouldn't be as bright as any of these other parts, so I'm just going to kind of dumb it down a little bit here. And just using whatever charcoal I have built up on this blending stump. We're just trying to knock it down just a little bit. It looks like there's going to be a highlight or brighter right in this area, so if I just kind of go around it, then we'll be able to bring it out more as we go on. By the way, if anyone has any questions, just leave me a comment down below. I will do my best to answer them. Again, this is going to be a little darker underneath here. He doesn't have a mustache, but you can see a little bit of hair there. So I'm going to kind of keep that in there. I got to bring this out a little bit, his smile line. And it's not quite as hard as that, so I'm just going to smooth this out. We'll lighten it up. This is obviously too dark, but that's okay. Just blend this in. See, right now this is all really flat, but in the picture it's darker. This area here is going to be a little bit darker. So what I might end up doing is just taking my eraser and slowly lighten up around it. Just slowly pick out a little bit here and then kind of blend. It's slowly going to start giving it a little more look to it. So the eyes need some work again. See, the more you do it, the more you start seeing little things that need to change. This is where all the, like, the little tiny adjustments start coming in. That's why I'm not really talking that much. Gonna kind of bring the lips up a little bit. And I might even kind of start putting in little hints of where the teeth are going to be. First, I always start with like the corner of the mouth, just to establish that. Just by darkening the corners, it kind of like brings out the middle of the mouth. And then just going to kind of suggest where the teeth are. Looking at the bottom here. So we have that tooth, we have that tooth, we have that tooth. Alright, so as trying to look where the middle is, where that is middle teeth are, it looks like it's coming right about maybe in here, right? Just do a light little line. I think that's enough for now. I'm really not that good when it comes to teeth. You gotta be real careful when it comes to teeth. Starting to feel a little bit better. Again, drawings always kind of go through like a, at least mine, they always go through this like really weird, awkward stage. This is kind of where the lips are. Let's see, do I have his mouth coming out as far out as it needs to? I guess so. Again, we're not trying to make like a perfect photograph or anything, but it would be nice to capture his likeness. That is kind of important to me. So I'm thinking his face feels like it's a little bit too wide out here. Let me zoom out a little bit. And one thing I did notice, his forehead's really going to have to go up higher, but I'm not worried about that yet. I think right now I'm looking at this space right here by his mouth, and I kind of just feel like I got a little too much there. I don't know if I do, So I'm going to erase a little bit and just see how I feel. So let's just kind of bring this in a little bit and kind of maintain this angle. See, I'm just shaving in the side of the face just a little. Trying not to be too sharp on this corner here. You don't want to look like it's, you want it to be nice, like smooth, not too pointed. See, sometimes it's just little tiny adjustments, and it can make the drawing feel a lot better. I think that's better. I think this space is a little bit better. I'm not sure if the chin might have to come down just a hair. I'm feeling that a little bit better than I was before. So just a couple suggestions of the teeth here. Here what I'm doing is I'm just looking at the teeth and I'm trying to just shade below them to get that shape of the mouth. So I'm not drawing teeth, I'm like drawing a boundary where the lip is, and then hopefully my intention is that boundary will capture the shape of his mouth. Alright, maybe we'll bring out a little bit on the nose here. You can see that has a little bit of a highlight. This is where we start looking at values. You don't want it too bright. So I erase it and then maybe put a little, use like a blending stump and kind of slowly go over it a little bit. Knock it back down, but make it still lighter than what is around it. I want this part of the nose to be a little bit lighter. So I want the contrast with this side of the face. Right now it's just kind of, doesn't feel like it's coming off the face because it's still too dark. So if I want the nose to jump out, I gotta make all this back here darker than the nose. So you can't really see inside his nose, but we do know under here is lower. It's not hitting as much light, so I'm going to make sure this is a little bit darker than up above it. So I'm just going to make that a little darker. Below this is a little darker than that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of charcoal in this area. Noticing, you know, the eyes are still really dark as far as, you know, they kind of stand out. I got to be mindful of that if I want to keep it like that or not. This is where I start noticing little details. So you see this part of the nose? If you follow this line of the nostril, notice it's dark right here, but then you can see this little shape. It kind of comes out. It kind of comes out here and then goes up ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Those are little things I notice as we go along. So I'm just going to put that in there. And see, it's already giving the nose a little more structure. Just like up in here, where the bridge of the nose is, right now it looks really, really big. It looks like it's just one big bridge, but we want to shrink that down a little bit. So I'm going to add just a little bit of tone in here, like this. It almost looks like it comes down and meets that spot that we just made. So I'm just going to add some tone like that, blend this all in. See, we're slowly shaping that nose. But see how this is all the same darkness here? This looks all the same. If you look on the picture, it's actually more dark right here. Right around that tear duct. So instead of drawing that darker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my eraser and kind of lighten up everything just a little bit. Just going to lighten this up. And I'm going to lighten up around it. Just take it down just a little notch. So I want to keep this part still darker right in here. And just kind of blend around it so it's a little lighter than that area. And see, we're just slowly making these refinements. Notice how I'm just kind of jumping all over the place, kind of going back down to the mouth. Just kind of wherever my brain takes me. Trying to be very careful around the teeth. Don't really want to draw teeth, you just want to draw the hint of teeth, sort of the suggestion of teeth. That back one's going to be darker because it's in the mouth. And that's a little darker. Teeth aren't really ever really white, so keep that in mind. Darkest part of the lip is right here. Kind of lightens out as it goes on. I think I'm going to have to work on the forehead now a little bit, because I do believe we've made his forehead a little too low. So I'm gonna just kind of, this is what I mean by it's okay to erase things, you know, not a big deal. So I'm gonna say is, let me just draw this higher and see how I feel. That's why in the beginning when we use this soft charcoal, it's because of this very reason, that we can easily change things. So this is where I had the top of his head. See that? This was the top way up here. Let me zoom out a little bit. And now, and that's where I had his hairline. Now I'm thinking his hairline has to be maybe up here. Let's just see what this looks like. Let's just see. That's the beauty of using this soft charcoal. You can just erase it with the finger. So this little part comes out about the same width as his eye or his eyebrow, and then it kind of comes up. So I gotta see if this length, hairline to the top of the eyebrow, is the same as what? Maybe it's the same as this distance here. Okay. Let's just use our soft charcoal to kind of see what this looks like. Since we can easily erase this. Let's just draw this in like this, just to see how it feels. Feeling better about it. Yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better about it. I think raising that up definitely feels a lot better. And that's one thing about, if you're watching this far into the video and you haven't turned it off yet, first off, thank you. I appreciate that. This style of drawing, I wanted to I like it because it kind of teaches you how to trust your feelings and your intuition. Your eyes will tell you if something is right or wrong. And that's kind of like, to me, that's what I've learned has been like the best sort of teacher, is my eyes. So I'm just kind of seeing how the shape feels. Put the ear out here somewhere. All right. Slowly getting there. See, I'm not feeling this shape, but that's okay. That's what all these adjustments are going to be for. All right. See, this is all like a temporary kind of charcoal, but it's just adding tone so I can see if I like what I'm seeing, and I think I am liking what I'm seeing here. So his hairline's kind of right up in this area. It's lighter over here, darker up here. But I'm feeling it now. This is where I'm starting to feel like I'm getting in my groove. So his chin, I'm looking at this angle. Does this feel about right? Kind of comes up here. This is feeling alright. I'm feeling like we got this pretty good here as far as the shape. I'm seeing a little bit darker here from like his hair. Again, he doesn't have a goatee or a beard, but you can still see that, you know, being a man, it's going to be a little darker. It's always a little darker underneath the lip. Chin. So here's that sort of like that chin is sort of like a ball, right? So, you know, kind of maintaining that shape like that. Just going to smudge this in. Now again, I have to be mindful. If I don't do anything with this little shape here, kind of looks like a kidney bean shape. That's too bright, right? That's almost as bright as the side of the face. We don't want that. We want this to be the brightest. That's where the light is hitting. So this can't stay that bright. So you just look at things like that and then go, okay, well this can't be as bright as that. So I'm just gonna knock it down. And what I'm doing is I'm just going from like these darker areas of charcoal and just bringing it in to this area. And all we're doing is, see, we're knocking it down. It's still not as dark as this, right? But we're knocking the light back because this shouldn't be as bright. And that's sort of like some of the secret to shading and just looking at your values. See, I think this is too bright here, so we're just going to knock this down. I'm going to first, above the lips is always a little bit brighter. But it's not going to be this bright. See, that kind of looks like he just drank a milk mustache. Or he didn't drink a milk mustache, he drank milk and got a milk mustache. You numbnuts. Alright. So knock that back down. Alright. We're almost wrapping up hour number 2, or close to it. And you could see we're already, I think we're starting to get his likeness. We've made some adjustments as far as, you know, we increased the forehead, we shrunk down this angle of the cheek, worked on the mouth. So I'm gonna have to, and I'm thinking I like the shape of the hair. You know, we use this soft charcoal to kind of put this up there, but now we're gonna start using some of this harder compressed charcoal to work on the hair. And I also want to start fine-tuning these values again on the face. I think this drawing is going to take at least 3 hours, give or take. Let me know if you like this format of just me talking and showing it to you in real time, or if you prefer it to be more of a time-lapse narration. Some of my last videos are time-lapse narration, but I don't know what my subscribers prefer to see. So if you prefer to see this kind of format, I need to know that. If you don't tell me, I'm not going to know. So please leave a comment and let me know. If you like the long videos, ones that you can come back to and resume and pick up and just but see everything as it's done without any cuts or edits, or do you not have time for that and want to see something faster and more respectful of your time, I guess. I like these long videos. I like watching artists. I just leave it on sometimes when I'm working and just let them talk in the background, and I'll look up and I kind of like that. And I don't know if I'm the if I'm the only one or not, so that's why I'm asking for your advice. One thing I recommend doing if you're new is just as you see me, I'm not always talking, but as you see me doing these things, just look at the picture, the reference picture, look what I'm doing and try and imagine, like, what am I looking at? What shape am I looking at? Like right now I'm looking at this shape of his chin and I'm trying to get that sort of teardrop shape right in here. So when you look at the picture, then you look what I'm doing, and you can kind of go, oh, okay, I see what shape you're looking at and why you're doing what you're doing. Alright, I got a few minutes left in this session. All right. I think we're doing pretty good here, guys. I'm happy with how it's turning out now. Wasn't so sure before, as most of my drawings are. I'm not exactly confident. Again, this is the first time I'm drawing anything in almost a year, so this is sort of a wake-up call for me to get my butt back in gear. This is just smoothing out the charcoal, make it a little bit more like a skin tone. Again, the hairline looks like it's going to have to define this a little bit. This is darker up here. Darker up here as it comes back towards the ear. As his hair and the shape of his head comes up this way, comes up into the darker areas of his hair. This is all like that. And I'm also going to be mindful of like how the hair goes, the direction of the hair. It looks like this part of the hair is going to go this direction. This hair is kind of going just a little bit this direction. Alright, we got about 1 minute left, so I think we're gonna stop it here. And when we continue, we might hopefully wrap it up in the next session, this next hour. So I'll be right back. For you guys, I'll be right back. For me, I'm going to take about a 20-minute break. We'll continue. Alright everybody, I don't know where I left off. This was the next day from my last break. I was going to continue drawing, but some things came up last night when I was initially doing this video. But anyway, it's kind of given me an idea, or it's given me time to kind of look at everything, and I think I see a bunch of things that need to change. We're going to have to shorten the forehead a little bit. I want to change the jaw and the chin line. I think the head is coming out a little too far, so so I might actually just kind of erase a lot, because I feel like his head isn't that proportioned to what I had it. So we'll just kind of take our kneaded eraser and slowly bring this in. See, and just in doing that, we're kind of changing the shape a little bit. All right. I think we might even have to lower his nostril a little bit. I'm not too sure, but that was one of my notes I had, is maybe this might have to go down just a little. So these are all just like little things. Sometimes I'll sit back and just kind of stare at the drawing and just see like what jumps out at me that doesn't look right. So I'm just kind of erasing the nostril altogether at this point. And I think the nose needs to be, I'm looking at the space in between where the eye is and the nose, and if you look in the picture, his eye comes right up to where the bridge of the nose is. But the way I have the drawing right now, there's more of a space here. So I'm going to try and do a couple things. I'm going to try and increase the bridge of the nose, widen it a little bit, and at the same time I'm going to see if maybe I can just bring the eye over a little. I really don't want to erase too much, but by erasing the nose a little bit right here, we're actually widening the nose. Actually bringing the nose a little bit wider. And I think we might be okay with that. Don't want to make it too wide. Just kind of trying to bring this just a little hair over. And we'll see if that does anything. Just kind of widening his smile a little bit. right. Gosh, I have so many notes here. Okay. Maybe I'll lower the nostril a little bit now. I mean, it's just a little line. It's not even... It's not like I'm drawing a big nostril or anything. We're gonna have to work on the mouth a little bit. No, I'm not too sure about the mouth at this point, but that's okay. Just going to kind of lower the hairline a little here. Line there to kind of help me. Step up over here. So let's see, I said I was going to shrink the size of the head. In fact, let me use my soft charcoal just because I can erase this easier. If this is where the side's going to go, let's just see how this feels. And then if the ear is going to go here. Alright, we'll kind of go with that right now. I want to work on this a little bit. I think I need to make this... Sometimes when you shade, you know, I had a line here and I was kind of shading in. That kind of makes it, that kind of shrinks the face a little bit, and I don't think I want to do that. I want to adjust his chin. I want to make his chin, right now to me his chin's a little rounded, so I think I want to kind of make it more straight. looks like it kind of is straight up to about here, and then it starts to come out. And I'm just kind of increasing it, just making it a little bit fuller than I had it. Not much. Let's see how that looks. I think that's looking a little bit better to me. My eye, it's kind of telling me it's a little bit better. See, I like drawing with this kind of charcoal because it's not like we're laying a lot of lines down. It's almost like we're starting with almost like a big kneaded eraser, and we're slowly shaping it, and we're slowly adding form to it. I kind of like that. So there's light up here. It's going to be light up in here. It comes down. Alright, ears I'm not very good at ears, just full disclosure. But I don't want a lot of attention to go towards the ear anyway, so. Okay, how are we looking on the camera? Not too bad. Just add some tone in here. That way it's not just plain white. And now I want to look, I'm just kind of looking at the shapes, like, so I see this ear, the hair comes down probably about right where I had it, here. That's the hairline. Now I'm trying not to be super dark with my lines here. Man, ears are tough. For me, ears are tough. It's all about, I'm just trying to look at the shape inside the ears. Yeah, yesterday when I was drawing, and right before I took a break, I got a phone call. My daughter, who's in gymnastics, twisted her ankle, and we thought we might have to go to the emergency room. But fortunately, that wasn't the case. I just came back from the store and got her a compression, ankle compression to wear, so hopefully that kind of makes her feel better. Alright. Take some of the charcoal from my finger, maybe apply it on the dark side of the face over here. I'm kind of just keeping the face here. I'm not worried about a lot of the stuff like the shirt or anything yet, because I want to stick with where I want the main detail to be. You know, I want the face to be pretty realistic as much as I can make it. Alright. So it's a little darker in here in the ear. A little darker in here. So if I take my little blending tool, I just kind of fill in the dark values. And then tone up the ear a little bit. Well, guess it looks like an ear, right? Oh boy. Coming along. Wonder if I can bring out some highlights in the hair. Not bad. I'm just using a little eraser here. A little piece of hard eraser. I'm just adding a little bit of the highlights here. things I might end up doing on this channel someday is make it do a live session where I gotta figure out how to do it, but have it so you guys can leave. I can follow like a chat in real time, and if you have questions, you can just ask me while I'm drawing. This lighter area under the lip as it curves around. Don't want it too light. And then of course below that it's a little dark. Just kind of slowly sketching in where I see just a little bit of facial hair, or it's probably a day or two without shaving, but just gives it a little bit more definition, a little bit more detail, I guess. I'm hoping this picture is good inspiration. This model's name is Aaron. He's actually been fighting a very vigilant battle with cancer, but he likes art, and I'm hoping this drawing that I'm doing of him helps inspire him to keep fighting and know that he's got a bunch of people out here praying for him. For me, whenever I draw, it's a very personal experience. I don't just draw, I like to have, if possible, I like to have a connection with what I'm drawing, because, you're basically staring at the person, and you kind of getting in, you're analyzing every detail about them, every line, every angle, and sometimes it gets emotional because you're kind of invested in the person you're drawing. See, now I'm just making little tiny adjustments. But I'm liking what it's turning out as. Hopefully you guys do too. I love his hair. All right. I think we're getting somewhere now. I'm just going to keep slowly going over everything, adding more and more details where I think they need to be, little shadows and things like that. I always like this stage though, where it's kind of like just this blank white piece of paper and then it's like a floating head. Boy, I hope this is, you know, you stare at something so long, you start to get blind to it. I'm hoping that Aaron likes this picture. Because you never, you know, I'm my own worst critic. It's hard for me to be objective sometimes when it comes to my art. You know, we always see the worst. We don't think it looks like the person, or maybe we do, I don't know, but I think I did okay with this one. Not bad for not having drawn anything for almost a year. One of the reasons why I wanted to draw Aaron here was not just to help inspire him, but he's one of the people that's kind of given me motivation to draw. You know, finding that motivation is always a very difficult thing. At least for me, it's tough to find motivation when it's easier to just do something else. So And I'm just trying to look at values here. I think right above here, this has to be a little brighter than I had it. Maybe a little bit brighter above the brow, since the brow's kind of raised up a little bit. Just looking at the nose, I want the nose to feel like it's, you know, three-dimensional. I want it to look like it's coming out in front of the face. So I'm trying to keep the nose lighter. But I'm also not trying to draw like any hard lines, because then it'll look more cartoony. I don't want it to look like a cartoon. I'm looking at the picture. This is still, right now, this all looks like the same darkness, but in the picture, this part is a little bit darker than this around it. So I'm going to lightly erase just a little bit around this area. Try to keep that just a little bit darker. And then see it, so it's kind of bringing out the form a little bit more here. Alright, I think I'm almost getting to the point where maybe I can add some of the clothing stuff. I think I'm okay with his face, and as far as proportions, I think we might have did an okay job capturing his likeness. And I can just sit here and go back and forth for hours and hours. I don't want to do that. Alright, see, things like the ear I can keep on just tweaking, but at some point I just gotta stop, right? This part of the ear is pretty bright. What's that called? The tragus, I think that's called. Alright, let me... I think for the sake of this video, I'll start putting in some more details as far as like maybe the shirt. Get sort of the background here. Let me back out a little bit. Oop. And then I can always add like little tiny details afterwards. So looks like his shirt, I'm looking where his mouth is, maybe right in this area. Kind of carry it through, kind of where his the other part is probably up in here. This part always looks funny because you have like a head there, and then just it's going to look all kind of cartoony here. So I'm looking at the chin. It comes in, and then I'm going to say that's where the shirt kind of comes down. Oh, you know what we didn't do? I didn't draw his neck. Ha! Sorry, Aaron. So right kind of in the middle of the earlobe looks like his, and it's actually an extension of where his hairline is. This comes down. Now, it's a good thing I saw that. So the shirt actually comes from here. The neck muscle, where the neck continues to go down. And then it looks like the shirt kind of just comes like this. Right, and then kind of comes down, something like that. So this is all going to be dark. This is going to be dark. Let's see. Don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this kind of stuff. Then his facial hair is going to be a little darker, sort of in this area. Under his chin. Just where you grow facial hair on your neck. Then everything else is just going to be something. So what I'm doing is, we don't want his neck to be white, like the paper. So I'm just kind of adding some charcoal here, which we're going to blend in. But this charcoal can be much darker. This is going to be the shirt. All right. And yeah, let's just start to blend in the skin tone here. One of the tricks or things to always keep in mind is whatever you want to be in the background, make it a little bit darker. So see, if I want the face to be more forward, I got to make this neck area a little bit darker. So I want that to be behind the face. So I'm just going to add a little bit more charcoal. Just a little bit. See, we just add more and then I'll just blend it in. Making it just a little bit darker, so now the face is going to stand out a little bit more. Let's see what's going to happen here. All right. And this has to be even darker. Oh man, my arm's getting tired. Okay. A little bit darker under the chin there. Right. I think Aaron is coming together here. Looking good, Aaron. Looking better in real life than my drawing, but hopefully this is something that gives you some motivation. We're almost coming up on the 3-hour mark of this video. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just putting some finishing touches on the drawing off camera, and then we'll cut back to it when I'm done, just to show you the final thing. Sometimes I put like a background on the picture, but I don't know, I think it looks kind of pretty good with just the white. Kind of makes them stand out a little bit more. So I'm seeing just a little tone on the neck, so sometimes I'll just use my little blending stump to pick up some charcoal around the outside and then use that to apply on the neck, or wherever I just need a little bit of tone. All right. So a lot of this is looking back and forth, squinting my eyes. Trying to see if anything, excuse me, if anything's standing out too bright or not. Be a little too, I might have gone a little too dark here. Lighten the eyes just a little bit. I don't want it to look like he has eyeshadow on. And at this stage, I'm also looking to see, I might have mentioned it, but I'm just trying to see, like, does anything look blotchy? You know, does anything look like like it might look a little blotchy in this area, you know, where you have like dark light. You want to be mindful of where your light is hitting. And then just kind of blend in around everything, soften it out. If I look closely, he's got a little, almost like where a dimple would be, so I'm trying to keep that in there, but not too dark. So yeah, I think I might finish this up a little bit, and maybe in like a time lapse, and then that'll be it. So if I don't say anything after, thanks for watching. Please leave me a comment and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, guys.